Welcome back, guys. We got Avi and Pierce on the panel with us today. All right, so FAU recruiting, guys. 27 players, arguably the best class in FAU's history. Who are some guys you guys thought were great players that FAU
I
had?
think all three of us can agree. It all starts with quarterback of the future, Daniel Parr out of Dwyer. Great prospect, already on campus. Should look for him to make some big moves.
I am actually going to go with Stephen Leggett, a D lineman at Glade Central. Because the pass rush last year was not very good. I know they're decimated with injuries. These freshmen from who came in last year better pan out because the pass rush again was not very good. They did not have a lot of depth with Brandon Bryant getting hurt. Apparently he's ahead of schedule, but they're not going to rush anything. But they should have gotten more D linemen, I think. Because again, that's where you win the game on defense, getting to the quarterback.
Yeah, they seemingly focused a lot in the secondary this year.
Yeah.
I believe it was 8 DBs.
Yeah, 8 DBs on secondary. What do you guys think about that? I mean, we lose 3 of our 4 starters in the secondary this year. So.
One thing is Pierce just attested to, it's a great thing when you can recruit depth, because that is the key to college football, as we saw with USC a few years ago, hurt by scholarship losses, what depth can do. The thing is, Pierce said, just you'd like to see them beef up the actual pass rush of the team.
Oh yeah, but also they did need to add some secondary guys because again, you do lose 3 of your 4 starters, with DJ probably being a day 2 pick in the NFL draft. Damian Palmer will probably get drafted now after his performance in the East-West Shrine game. But because again, that secondary will be very young, so you will see some freshman moments. But can Raekwon Williams be the leader of that secondary now, along with Cravon?
Yeah, and speaking of Daniel Parr, I mean, you said he's the quarterback of the future. Do you think he's the quarterback of the future, or is it someone else on this roster?
I really think we're going to have 3 different quarterbacks in the next 3 years. This year, Wes. And Greg gets his year. Then it'll be Driscoll getting a year or 2. Then Parr.
What do you think? Do you think it's going to be like that, or do you think Parr's going to be opening a starter?
I mean, I'd like to see some consistency, so hopefully I'd like to see Parr, win the job in a year or 2 and, be the starting quarterback for at least 2 or 3 years.
All right, now going on to the football schedule. It was released earlier this week. Got a couple of key games. What do you guys think are some of the key games for FAU?
I think, as we can only bring again, it starts September 12th, Miami coming to FAU. We went to the game a couple years ago at Miami. It's just great to see Division I schools, big-time Division I programs that have won national championships, start coming to FAU. Instead of us going to them.
Yeah, that is a big one. That could be the first sellout since the stadium was opened.
Absolutely.
I'm hoping we see the red pants of that game with Partridge selling out the student section, because I think happened once last year with the home opener, because that's the only way that's the only home game I think that will be sold out, because Miami will have probably about 80 to 90% of the fans here. But then again, then we get on Halloween, we get that school down south coming here. We all went to that game this year.
Well, I didn't go to that game. Fortunately for myself, I did not go to the game against FIU last year.
Drew and I did.
Just hopefully some Shula Bowl payback at the Borough. Oh, not the Borough basketball.
And also 6 home games this year. First time
gigantic.
since the stadium has been open. I mean, that's huge for FAU, right?
As long as they can avoid the noon games. The students don't like the early noon games.
Nor do I, being on the field, because it gets very hot down there. There's not a lot of shade in there. But that is big for FAU not taking on as many money games this year, it looks like. There only seems to be 2 with Miami and Florida. Tulsa, we beat them last year, so Tulsa, that might be a money game. But then from there, it looks like a decent schedule. But
yeah, hopefully we can win more than 3 games. I know we're not doing predictions.
Yeah, hopefully.
Just more than 3 wins, everyone.
Hopefully. All right, now FAU basketball.
Ooh.
Rough season right now.
Rough stretch.
Yeah,
Yes.
Been on a bit of a losing streak. What do you guys think is the problem? Do you think we can overcome this?
I think anything you can overcome bad shooting, because as we saw, we're just not shooting well offensively, just not scoring. Charlton Poole, Pierce's favorite player, went, 4 of 19 the other night against FIU. So I guess the biggest disappointment for me is that these aren't, you can lose, but you can lose well. You can have tough losses. These aren't really tough losses. These are bad losses where you're losing by, I know it says 9 points against FIU, but you guys were at that game. I listened to that game. It was a lot. It felt like more than 9 points. as did a few of the other games they played.
I mean, Solomon Poole. Dude, this dude, he just needs to be benched. This dude is, I'm done. I mean, he's the leading scorer of the team, only shooting 33% from the field. He's not even a 60% free throw shooter either. Oh, I can't make his free throws, and he's known as a scorer. So he's going to get fouled a lot. And then against Charlie, who's 3 of 21. Oh, I am just done with this kid. Just put him on the bench. Never touch him again the rest of the season. Put Justin Massey back in the starting lineup. I mean, that lineup seemed to work at the beginning with him and Trapp on the wings because Justin Massey actually plays defense too. He's not as good of a scorer as Poole when he wants to be. But again, Massey and Trapp can both play good defense, and that lineup seemed to work when they were that's like 7-4 non-conference. Then after Poole came, it seemed to have gone downhill because they've only won, I think, 3 games since he was in the lineup, and now they're on a 7 of 8 skid. Just do not start Poole anymore. Put Massey back. I would rather see the walk-on before Solomon Poole at this point. I am just done with Solomon
Well,
Poole.
do you think it's Solomon Poole in the lineup, or do you also think it's injury? Because, I mean, Justin Rapkin's been out for a while, DeAndre Johnson was out, and I think Trapp is out of the lineup these past couple of games. So do you think injuries have been a big part?
Rappington, I think, has regained his form. Three games back, finished with a double-double against FIU. He looked like his old self. DeAndre Johnson, I think lost a spot in the rotation because of Solomon Poole. I really think DeAndre's a better option than Poole at this point. 'Cause at least DeAndre know what you're going to get. Good passer, good shooter. Maybe not as athletic and won't make the highlight reel, but I think he's a more consistent option than Poole at this point.
I think we talk about consistency. With the biggest part of injuries, forget the player himself being injured. When the player comes back, it disrupts the flow of the team. So Raffington may have regained his form, but the team hasn't regained their form with Raffington necessarily. Now Trapp hurt, so the team just isn't consistent. Aside from just not playing well, they're not really playing team basketball because they haven't been able to play as a full team.
All right, do you guys think FAU can turn this around, maybe win these last couple 10 games, or do you think they're going to continue the streak and not make the Conference USA?
I'll tell you what, it starts tonight against UTEP. This two home game stretch against UTEP against UTSA. 2 home games at the Borough. Got to win those. Got to win your home game, most important games.
I'm looking at the schedule. These 2 home games I'm hoping should be winnable, but Tim Floyd's a good coach. He always has his team prepared. One road game we have to win, I think, is the Marshall game because we beat them pretty good when they came here. They have 2 less wins than we do, and that should be a game we could win. UAB, they're coming here. So again, protect your home court. Then you play Southern Miss, so there's probably 3 or 4 wins right there. I think, if we finish tied with Marshall, we get the tiebreaker because we beat Marshall, and hopefully we can sweep them. But all we have to do is just get ahead of Marshall. And so I think we can make it.
I think at this point, for me at least, forget being ahead of teams, I would like to see above 500 overall record.
That's not
more than 10. Well, at least more than 10 wins. You always have to improve upon the year before.
Yeah.
Then 1-6 in conference. That is what's killing me here. We'll probably finish below 500 in conference. So I think that's something that definitely needs to be improved upon.
Well, hopefully they can turn this season around. Thanks for tuning in, guys. We'll see you guys next week.
Have a good one.